Shalom. It's your brother Yonathan, all right? First and foremost, I want to give all praises once again to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Ruach HaKodesh. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. I want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your house. Yesterday, there was a shooting right here in Dallas, Texas. Really not far from, where I travel through every day. At the ICE Agent Center. And it looked like an Iscarite. That's the picture they put up. You never know with these people. Looked like an Iscarite. And they had the bullets engraved with anti-ICE on it. And you had all the right-wing platform people saying, hey, the far right, there's been so many attacks, we have to start treating them. I mean, the far left. The far left, there's been so many attacks, we have to start treating them like ISIS. When the C. Kirk thing went down, and everybody knew it was an Edomite that did it, and they tried to bring Jake up like Jake was the problem. Everybody was like, this doesn't make sense. Why are we in this conversation? That's white on white. But you got this that just popped up with Iscarite, and they just want to lump, minorities in with the far left. They want to put you in particular categories so it doesn't just look like they're coming at Israelites, when really that's the goal. Okay, he has to justify it. He has to make it make sense in the eyes of the people, so he has plausible deniability. That's how this devil moves. He always wants plausible deniability to hide his intentions. Let me actually look up the term plausible deniability. He says plausible deniability is a strategy for denying knowledge or responsibility for actions by arranging circumstances so that a denial of involvement is believable, typically due to lack of concrete evidence or proof of participation. So they don't want to make it seem like their real motive is to get at the nation of Israel, put them either in subjection or get rid of them, especially the prophets. It can't have that be the scenario, because then that opens up a whole another line of questions to the general public, to our people. They want to keep you in the dark, but get rid of you at the same time. They want to make you feel like, oh, you're a part of what we're trying to do, because they want to chip majority of the people. But they have to set up the circumstances to where it doesn't look like they're doing what they're trying to do. So let's go to Revelation 12 and 12. Let me put it up here real quick. Go to Revelation 12 and 12. And I'll start at verse 10. It says, and I heard a loud voice saying in the heaven, now is come salvation and the strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of the Mashiach, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down. So he's the accuser of the brethren, and he's going to be cast down. All right. And if you want further proof to who the Edomites are, that this is talking about the Edomites, you can just connect the fact that the Romans, the Greeks, go back to Esau himself. They were always in that spirit of pointing the finger at Jacob, even when they were in the wrong. Okay. Where was that verse? I finished verse 10. Verse 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their own lives unto death. So that's the spirit that the elect are going to be in. They're going to be focused on the mission. And when it says they love not their own lives unto death, the elect understand that death isn't final. The elect understand that the things they lose here on this side, they're going to get 100-fold in return anyway. The Lord promised us that. He told the disciples that. Let me go get that real quick. And I'll come back to this Revelation 12. It's in Matthew. So I always have this in my mind. when I'm going through particular troubles or relationships are severed or you lose things in the world, it's like, Now this is Matthew 19:29. It says, and everyone that have forsaken houses or brethren or sisters or father or mother or wife or children or lands for my name's sake shall receive 100-fold and shall receive everlasting life. And that's in the regeneration upon the return of the Lord when he cracks the skies open. So we're playing a long game. What we're doing, you got to understand delayed gratification. It's not going to feel good right now. You're not going to feel appreciated right now. And if you're looking for that here on this side, you're adding salt to the wound. Okay? Now let's go back to Revelation 12 and 11. Now we're at verse 12 now. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, all right? The family of the heavens first and foremost. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath. So he's working his way up to that point, but he has to justify it in the eyes of the people. If you're just tuning in, I brought up the fact that here in Dallas, there was a shooting at the ICE facility, and they had it put up a picture of a guy that looked like an Iscarite. On the shell casings, when they found the shell casing, it had anti-ice on it. And you know, they always have these little details to embellish and glamorize, you know, the story, to pull on people's heartstrings. So when they start to justify the bullshit that they're about to do, people are already in the sauce. They're lost in the sauce. They're ready to go along. They've been primed to go along with this devil's narrative. Okay? And he'll use these things so that when he really does what he wants to do, in the minds of the people, it's justified one. And then his real motivations, he could just be like, oh, that's crazy. That's not why we're doing this. He has plausible deniability. And also early in the lesson, we read the definition of that. Now, this verse 12 again, it says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, the people before the place, the family of the heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down upon you, unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth he hath but a short time. He's been seeing all these chariots. He sees the men of the Lord waking up. All the things, the prophecies are on the table and playing out. He's like, we got to do something to counteract this. And this is why in 2 Ezra 16 and 71, it talks about him coming, in like a flood, like a madman, sparing none. Let's go get that. 2 Ezra 16. And 71. This is 2 Ezra 16, 71. Should I start up a little bit? Let me see here. Yeah, let's start up. Yes, 2 Ezra 16, 68. We'll start there. And I wonder how this reads in the GNT. Let's go read it in the GNT. I haven't read it in the GNT before. Let's see how that checks out. So this 2 Ezra 16. I'm going to start at verse 68. It says, a vast mob of people is ready now to descend on you and devour you like flames. Ooh. They will drag some of you off and force you to eat pagan sacrifices. All right, and today, the modern day pagan sacrifice, back then it was pork and to denounce your power. But today it's going to be that chip. Today it's going to be, submitting to the image of the beast, which the ultimate form of that is taking his mark. All right? 2 Ezra 16 and 68 again in the GNT. It reads, a vast mob of people is ready now to descend on you and devour you like flames. They will drag some of you off and force you to eat pagan sacrifices. If you give in to them, they will ridicule you, mock you, and humiliate you. If you take that chip here on this side, it's not going to give you the comfort that you think you're going to get. You're still going to lose. You're still going to suffer. And on top of that, suffer a ferocious and violent death from Yahweh Shem Yahushua, from the Master of the universe. And then have that stain on you, on your conscience, even in the kingdom when you brought back. No. Just just deal with this. We all gonna have our portion of suffering. We all gonna suffer straight things like it talks about in 2 Ezra 7. Bite down, go through it. Remember you was a kid, you knew you was getting a whooping when you got home? Just get the whooping over with, man. Repent, get the whooping over with, and the Lord will have mercy on you. He's not gonna put something on you that you can't bear, but you gotta be with him. You had to have been using this grace period to be in good standing, to offend less. All right? 2 Ezra 16 and 70 in the GNT. In many places near the cities, there will be violent persecution against those who fear the Lord. All right? The elect. Those who believe on Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Anybody that call themselves Israelite, man, it's going to be violent persecution. The elect are going to be shielded from much of it. Okay, let's read that again. Verse 70. In many places near the cities, there will be violent persecution against those who fear the Lord. The attackers will act like wild people. They will plunder and destroy without pity all those who still fear the Lord. All right, because a lot of people, they're going to start fearing the Lord, even those who know the Israelites, in the time to come. And they're going to start fearing the conditions that are upon earth. They're going to start fearing the so-called white man and looking to him for solutions. He's not the solution. He's the root of the problem. And he depicts things to make it look like he's this angel of light, which he's not. To drag people further into the snare. Don't fall for it, man. It's all the same old tricks. Sometimes he revamps those tricks so they look a little different, but it's the same shit. Okay? Verse 72. They will turn them out of their homes and take away all their possessions. So don't get attached to the things that you think you have here on this side, because the Lord already told you those possessions are going to be taken from you, regardless of what it is. Regardless if you got some, I own this stuff, this is mine. It's not going to matter. Don't let your possessions possess you and put you in a place to where you're hesitant to make the decisions that the Lord requires for you to make. Don't be in the spirit of Lot's wife looking back at the things that you had and the life that you had. Fuck this life. You gotta be in that spirit. If you can't find a way to lock in and be in that frame of mind, you're gonna lose. Because you can't inherit the kingdom and still have attachments, still be being pulled on by this place. You gotta get to a point where you're ready just to drop it off. It's gonna look different from, person to person. Some people gonna have to drop stuff earlier. Some people, might have to separate from family. Some people the Lord might allow you to be a covering for your family. Everybody everybody gonna have their particular test. Okay, then he be with you to pass the test, and let it not be for your destruction. A lot of people, they catch a little hell and they think it's for their destruction, but really it's to build you up. Verse 72 again. They will turn them out of their homes and take away all their possessions. This will be the time of testing for my chosen people. See? Testing. For my chosen people. And they will prove to be as pure as refined gold. So it's meant to purify you. You put gold in a fire when it's raw and it has those impurities in it. You have to put it under intense heat. You have to put it through intense adversity so those impurities, those imperfections burn out of the gold. Okay? So then it'll shine. Alright? To the point where you can see a reflection in it. The one holding the gold is Yahweh Shai. So he needs to see his reflection in us. We're becoming little versions of him. And the only way you can become a little version of Yahweh isn't going to be for you. Okay? Let's read that again, verse 73. This will be the time of testing for my chosen people, and they will prove to be as pure as refined gold. Alright, but listen to what the Lord says, my chosen people. Time of terrible suffering is near, but I will rescue you. You got to keep in mind, the Lord will get you out of it. You got to have that faith. You got to believe that. Don't be afraid or have any doubts. I am your God and will lead you. So you understand that, man. Seek righteousness, seek meekness, so that you may be hid in the day of the Lord's anger, like it talks about in Zephaniah 23. And we're going to be okay. But all these things you're seeing happening, these little attacks, and the so-called white man in this society crying boo-hoo, like he the victim, it's all to set up the play to roll on your ass. So use this time, use your grace period, man, to fortify your spirit, fortify your mind, to get ready to separate from this place, because the time is coming here soon. So Abaratazah, the lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises so much more too. Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Kadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. I want to say shalom to all the brothers, and of course the few sisters who are pursuing this truth and sincerity. All right, may the blessing of election be upon your house. Shalom.